What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode. So, Senator Rand Paul from Kentucky is not supporting another postal bailout, okay? He's not supporting the post office as a government agency. I believe that he believes that the post office should be privatized just by hearing his viewpoints on the Department of Homeland Security's committee when they called the joy to the special Senate hearing on a couple days ago. Some of his talking points were that he's against public funding for the Postal Service. He believes that we're bloated. He believes that a privatized Postal Service will be more effective because they will hire contract employees rather than union employees, and that a contract employee is 50% cheaper because you don't have to provide a pension towards that employee. And he believes that the pension should be eliminated, as much as he goes to say that the TSP should be expanded upon, right? So get rid of the defined I don't know what you call it. The defined, what is it called? The defined benefit, and create a defined contribution. So a defined benefit is a benefit, which is the pension or the first annuity, and a contribution or defined contribution will be the percentage that they match our TSP, right? Contribution. So that's what he believes. He believes that we need a shift away from the pension system, get rid of full-time employees. He doesn't agree with the joy converting CCAs into regulars or PTFs into clerks. He's against the unions. It's interesting that we have such a divide within our union, within our national politics, and everything regarding USPS is about us getting less. All right, we get the short end of the stick when it comes to finances, but when it comes to delivering for America, we get 100% of the responsibility. Okay, if there's a flaw, if there's a misscan, if there's something missing, a package, we're the first ones, right? Because we're the ones that are in possession of that item, right? But when it comes time to pay us adequately, all the excuses come into the arena of why the service itself isn't effective, right? Do your job right? Or else. But when it comes to getting paid right, we don't want to talk about that. It's disheartening, right? It's disheartening when you have senators appointed by American people saying that the government will be better with 500,000 less employees. Okay, now we're not talking about unessential government employees. We're not talking about people that are sitting behind desks. We're not talking about people that are reading data sheets. We're not talking about people that are crunching numbers. We're talking about people that are out here in the streets, in the weather, in post office, distributing moving packages inside a postal service on conveyor belts, making sure things aren't jamming up. You got people physically removing mail, from separating mail and touching mail. You got people like us, carriers, who are delivering the mail, delivering the packages. You got VMF guys that are fixing trucks, that are making sure that the lights are working, that the horns are working. You got people at payroll making sure we get, the administrative part of our jobs taken care of, right? You got hundreds and hundreds of thousands of postal employees, right? But we're not essential enough for the government to keep alive. All of this talks about cost cutting and reducing government bloat and efficiency. I get it, but the Postal Service is probably one of the government services that has proven to work. Okay, the Postal Service efficiently does what it's mandated to do on a daily basis. Okay, what other government agency can we say does that? Department of Motor Vehicles? Absolutely not. Department of Social Security? Absolutely not. Sometimes you got to go to these departments to get some paperwork in order, and it takes weeks and months to get stuff done, and they receive public funding. Okay, We are a service. We don't receive public funding. Today, they are asking for public funding because of the crises that our country is in. I understand everything is so expensive, and the Postal Service has its financial obligations as well. You know, they decided that in the midst of some of the toughest financial times in the world, they want to update their infrastructure and purchase vehicles. I get it. We need new vehicles. Some of the shit was outdated. You know, the postal facilities that we work out of. But then inflation happened, right? So now you got all that going on, and you got 3 unions right now asking for more money, you know. So what are they gonna do? They're gonna not give us the money because they gotta find the cost cutting somewhere else, right? It's disheartening. However, I say that to say, I think it's time for the unions to stick together in solidarity again. You know, there was a point where all the unions bargained together, and then, you know, some of the unions started wanting more for their particular members compared to the other members, and then things fell apart, right? But at this time in 2024, okay, with all the opposition towards organized labor needs to stand together. You got Matson, he's the president of the National Rural Letter Carriers. You got Demonston, he's the APWU president, and then you got Renfro, who is the NALC president, and they all three sit on the AFL-CIO board. Okay, so those guys, on top of the other presidents of the strong unions, Teamsters, and some of the other, the actor guilds and the UAW, okay, it's time for all of these unions to support one another. Why? Because we all have a common goal, and that's to protect organized labor, to fight for worker protections, and to fight for fair wages. So a vote no for the letter carriers is going to be effectively a vote no for the APWU and a vote no for the National Rural Letter Carriers. So letter carriers, we have to be the ones to set the stance, right? What we do, they will follow. Okay, if we reject the 1.3% raise, the sister unions will reject their raises as well. All right, guys, don't forget, we're not only fighting the Postal Service in 2024, we're actually fighting the United States government. Not every senator has that MAGA mindset, okay? But right now we have to understand that the climate of the country, with the amount of debt that the United States holds, they're going to be looking for ways to cut, and the easiest way to cut is to cut things that work, right? Because it's bringing in profit, right? Anything that brings in profit has potential, right? And since it's a profitable entity, they want to privatize it, right? Because then it could be taxed if it's on a private side, right? Anything that is not bringing in profit, but is constitutionally mandated, they're not going to go after, okay? They're not going to go after military. They're not going to go after border. They're not going to go after national security. They're going to go after agencies, okay? Postal Service, again, it's self-supporting, so I don't see why they would want to privatize it. We barely make ends meet. We will make ends meet. You know, this is just a bad time because of all the infrastructure upgrades that we're going through. So just ride it out. Don't be scared. Don't think that we're going to get privatized in this administration. Don't think that we need to concede our wages because of the nonsense that we're hearing. All right, guys. At the end of the day, we do a job, we provide a service, and we need to get paid adequately for that. And our main concern is with the failure of our union being able to negotiate a fair contract with us. All right, all the other stuff is noise. I'm only making this video to show you that, yes, we could hear the noise, we can understand their points, but ultimately we have to do what's best for us, okay? As letter carriers, as workers, as rank and file members of a union, okay, we need to stick together with our union and the other unions around the country who are fighting for the betterment of their employment. All right, guys, that's what I got today. Again, whatever the letter carriers do, the rest of our sister unions will follow. Okay, so think about that when you vote, when you get your ballots. Don't vote selfishly just for a $2,000 back pay that you're going to get in 6 months. Weather it out, and let's hope that all postal employees win in 2024, as they should. Until next time, I'll be here. You'll be there. Peace.